So Ness is just levitating down the crater. Well, he's not. Is that the right word? I don't know. Surprising Chris more than Lucario. The blonde girl looked back at the duo. "There's something bothering me," she said. The duo looked worried that she was probably not buying their tale. "Where did that PK fire come from? I'm the only one of the group who can use that ability, and I'm sure there weren't any other enemies nearby who could use that. Then, that means..." She eyed Chris with a blank look. "Wait, why are you staring at me like that?" Chris asked, backing off a bit. "Looks like you got some competition there, Lucario. Oh boy." It didn't look like it, but Paula was concentrating her powers on Chris's self. Okay. Quickly she picked up a familiar energy running through his body that she didn't feel was there before, because she didn't bother to sense PSI energy on someone else that wasn't a chosen one. Juff lacked PSI completely, but he was still a chosen one. It came off as a wonder that the otherworldly boy even had PSI, yet wasn't part of the ensemble. "Chris, you have PSI power in you," Paula said. Juff blinked. "Chris possesses PSI power?" he asked. "I feel left out now." The otherworldly boy gasped and looked down at his hands. I have what now?" he asked, feeling scared about the chance of randomly exploding or tossing someone away with his mind. "PSI," Paula reassured. "Just like Ness and I, you possess the same energy. You used PSI Fire Alpha during that fight back then. By accident, no less, but now you're aware of your gift." Lucario was shocked to know his trainer had a dormant power to begin with, until it dawned on him Chris never ever had anything like PSI in his soul back in the real world. In fact, a quick scan of his aura revealed there was an energy source that wasn't there before they arrived, and Lucario was certain when he recalled sensing Juff's and Chris's aura when seeing the land's red aura. There was no energy there whatsoever, but now there was. I could have sworn Master Hand told them all that. I'm starting to doubt myself now. I swear he told them. Whatever. I mean, I say whatever a lot. I think that's more or less the appropriate reaction with this story. Just whatever. Whatever, really. I think, if I keep keep on saying whatever, I'll probably be able to get through all this without going crazy. "I don't want this gift," Chris said, shivering and embracing himself. "PSI is technically psychic powers, right? I never used this before. What if I burn Lucario by accident, or any of you without holding myself back?" "That fire attack you shot didn't even tickle me," Lucario thought. "Now there," Paula said, "PSI is completely tameable. It doesn't look as hard as you make it out to be. You'll only burn someone if you keep panicking and losing control of yourself like an idiot." Damn, she pointed out. "Just be yourself." Well, just be yourself. Just be yourself, and PSI will never run wild. The boy was doubtful it was that easy to avoid accidents like that, but it was the best thing to do now. Taking a deep breath, Chris slowly calmed down. I can do this. I'm one with myself," he muttered, closing his eyes. "I won't run around burning people with my mind." Paula looked dully at him. No need to act so dramatic about it either," she said. Ellipsis. Chris opened his eyes up and sighed slowly. "Okay. I don't feel any different, truthfully," he said blankly. He looked at his body for any second effects or an extra arm. "It's so weird." "It'll be weird once you use PSI," Paula said. "That's when you feel a kind of tingling going on." Like fucking ASMR or something. Juff tilted his head. "PSI is such an amazing ability to have," he noted. "I wonder how it even came to be and why some people like you and Ness possess that ability." "I don't know myself," Paula said. "I was just born with it." Lucario looked at Chris. "This is great for you," he said. "You can defend yourself in battle now." His trainer shivered. Don't put me on the front lines just yet," he begged. "I'm just a novice, and I have never been struck down so badly. Can you keep being my shield?" "Forever," Lucario gladly said with a smile, relieving his trainer. Ness came back, carrying a jar with honey, except it wasn't normal honey, it was a jar of fly honey, as the label said. "All right, I've never seen this before," Ness said, showing them the jar. "It looks special, though. Let's keep it and see what we can do with it." "That was in a trash can, Ness," Geoff pointed out. That alone is not a healthy decision. Whatever, Ness said. See, he's doing it as well. Putting the item behind his back. Chris and Lucario gasped silently when they saw the jar seemingly disappearing from view completely once it tried to circle Ness's back. I have a feeling we need to go to the cemetery and look for clues there, unless Mr. Aura Sensor here senses evil. Lucario blinked and focused on the question.
Nothing else seems odd aside from the red aura everywhere, he said. There isn't another building expelling its own aura.
For now, the group went up north. Much later, Threed Hotel. Out of pure odd convenience, Ness got a call from a prodigy known as the Apple Kid, who sent him an item called zombie paper to trap zombies. Combined with a jar of fly honey, which attracted zombies to the group as they walked along town, these items made for an excellent bait to lure in all the zombies to a single location. The location to lay off the trap was in the circus in the middle of town, where a group of adults were trying to think of ideas to get rid of the zombies. After the children told them about their plan, they agreed to it, mostly because they weren't good at coming up with anything and they were too desperate. Why is the story only telling us about it? You know, what? Why don't we see that happen? You know, that's a fairly important, well, I mean, you know, maybe not in the grand scheme of things, but at the moment it's a fairly important narrative development. Why are you just telling about us why are you just telling us about it, like, with the omniscient narrator? Like, you show them ordering, you thought it was necessary to show them ordering and consuming some pizza, but, I mean, advancing the story? Nah, fuck that. Just tell us about it afterwards, who cares? After the fact, you know, whatever. Oh, I did it again. Whatever. For the trap to work... Oh, fucking hell, I can't stop saying that. For the trap to work, everyone needed to abandon the normal circus tent for a whole night. The children and their guests decided to rest at the local hotel, thankfully the one that didn't have suspicious ladies and zombies, and wait for the zombies to enter the tent and get stuck on the floor. Telling the day and night apart was hard due to it being 3 p.m. and the night sky high above. Still, the children were exhausted and needed to recover. None of them had a proper chance to rest after eating pizza. Thrilling stuff, I'm sure you'll agree. Unfortunately, the hotel got nearly booked with people taking shelter there. The barricaded houses kept relatives out, ironically, just because they didn't want to risk letting zombified people in, forcing them to take a room with just 3 beds. The room itself was nothing to write home about, with one window facing north in the middle of 2 cozy beds and a drawer to the left. There was a bathroom door on the south portion of the room. It was a simple hotel room. That should have been at the... yeah. It was a simple hotel room, should have been at the start of the description, not the end of it, but, you know, whatever. I'm not writing the story, AuraChannelerChris is. Standing near the only window of the room were Chris and Lucario talking to each other, away from the 3 children currently taking turns to use the bathroom. It's hard to believe what we've been going through up until now, Chris spoke to Lucario. Zombies, costly pizzas, evil tents, zombies, dead dogs, living puppets that aren't being held up by anything. I know I repeated zombies, don't correct me on that. Costly pizzas, wow, no, that's horrifying. Lucario nodded.
After coming here, I'm asking myself why we didn't start in my native world instead, he said,
getting slightly pumped up to fight real Pokemon. Because, you can fucking rip their heads off too, you fucking Hannibal Lecter son of a bitch. It would have been
much better.
Fucking Norman Bates, Buffalo Bill, Ted Bundy, I'll stop now. Charles Manson, that motherfucker. I don't really think so, Chris dismissed. I wouldn't want to be thrown in a world full of man-eating monsters. Full of man-eating monsters. Is that... Has AuraChannelerChris ever played Pokemon before? Because I think he's kind of getting the wrong idea about it. Oh man, don't you just remember that one episode where Misty just got fucking eaten by a Salamence? Man, that was just crazy. Fucking Rhydon just devouring Brock's arm. Oh, that was harrowing for kids. I'll just, you know...